So this is going to be the start of a major project for me, which is tackling Jack Kirby's Fourth World. And to start with, we have Superman's pal, or now it says Superman's ex-pal, Jimmy Olsen from October 1970, issue 133, with story and art by Jack Kirby. This Fourth World is in this omnibus. It's over 1,500 pages. So this is going to be a major project. And I'm going to be doing it differently than I have in the past, which is to kind of skim through the stories. I'm going to be possibly reading this word for word, at least mostly, because I think Jack Kirby, he's a very interesting writer, and I think you kind of need it all. So these are full issues, which means if I'm going to keep these around 10 minutes, I'm not going to be able to get through an entire issue. So we'll see how far I can get into it. And for anyone who's never read The Fourth World, you may be a little confused as to why it's considered so important and groundbreaking, and why it has been so inspirational to other writers. And it gets off to a kind of a slow start, although I still enjoy it quite a bit. These are some of my favorite parts, but it's a ways before you really get into the Fourth World portion of it. So I don't have prior issues to 133, so I'm not sure what's going on. This is the first issue done by Jack Kirby, and whether he is taking up storylines that already existed or whether he's just jumping into it, because it seems like things are going on already. But let's get into it and see what people think. This is Jack Kirby's Fourth World. And here's the cover. Jimmy Olsen's our leader. He gives the orders. Gun him down. So this is actually not that far from what actually happens in the comic. Who's in here? Jimmy Olsen isn't guessing. He knows. When he steps through the door, he will be on the two scoops of the century. Number one bears the name of a team that made big news in the Fighting 40s. The second is a story as bizarre as the strange subcultures evolving in today's swiftly changing world. It begins here in our slum garage. Come on inside, Olsen. Don't be a snob. This place won't bite you. Sure thing, but I expected... Yeah, I suppose this doesn't look like a place one would find a miracle car. But there she is. To bring back news from the moon, if necessary. And this is brings back the Newsboy Legion. So that was a group from the 1940s, although we'll find out how they can still be existing. In the decaying atmosphere of what was once a slum garage, Jimmy Olsen embarks on the strangest experience of his career as a reporter. Man, I don't believe what I'm obviously seeing. This car is just too much. It rates a headline on the front page of the Daily Planet, and yet it's not the story I was sent to cover. Welcome to the Newsboy Legion HQ, Jimmy. Just call me big words. We'll fill you in. So this is the whiz wagon. He's the cat that can. Reporter Big Words designed this wild whiz wagon. She's set for any kind of assignment, even for practicing frogmen. Pipe the television camera. If we don't get that story you're after, we'll use it to shoot a situation comedy. If we don't get that story, his boss will shoot us on prime time. Take off, Gabby. This spare tire is worth a bundle of bread. So it's this is an interesting beginning. When my new boss, Mr. Edge, assigned me to this story, I never dreamed I'd be driving to this scene in this. This car will do that for you too. What that is, if you feed the proper directional data into this computer pilot. Groovy. But it doesn't seem possible that you fellas designed and built this here on your own. Well, it didn't exactly happen that way, but it could have. The Newsboy Legion is a first-rate outfit, just as it was during the 40s. Now that's really hard to believe, Junior. Nah, dum-dum, we're just carrying on for our dads. Let's show the wise guy, fellas. Fall in line, smart. Oof, I can't see. I guess it's time for introductions. I'm Gabby Jr. My dad was the handsomest of the original cast. I'm content to have my dad's IQ. He was called Big Words, too. Just call me Tommy. Hold it 1 second, 2 seconds. Ah, that's Flipper Dipper. He's hip on scuba diving. I'm Scrapper Jr., and I'm almost as tough as my old man. Well, what can one say when one is confronted by living symbols of a famous legend? I'm impressed. Men, considering the hazards of our assignment, I'm proud to be part of your intrepid group. Intrepid? Does that mean we're something like stupid wise guy? Maybe we are, Scrapper, seeing we're headed for the wild area. At that very moment, in the luxurious office of Morgan Edge, president of the Galaxy Broadcasting System, new owner of the Daily Planet. Yes, our young Lokinvar Jimmy Olsen is on his way to the wild area, Kent. But that's like sending a young Huckleberry Finn to the little Bighorn to track down the Sioux. The wild area is rumored to be a sort of sanctuary for weird motorcycle groups. Jimmy could be in great danger. Clark, baby, believe me, every contingency has been considered. I have seen to Jimmy's protection. Galaxy Broadcasting has invested heavily in this story. Money, equipment, a car built to overcome the most extreme conditions. I still think an older, more experienced reporter could have. No deal. No how, Kent. Not you, buddy boy. The Harrys who inhabit the wild area trust nobody over 25. It's a generation gap type of scene, you know. That's why young Olsen had to be the one sent. But have no fear, Kent. Jimmy won't be alone. He's in illustrious company. I wonder. He may need more like Superman. When Clark Kent leaves the office, the smooth facade of Morgan Edge vanishes. His eyes grow narrow, cold, and hard. That fool Kent. He's too nosy, and an old friend of Superman as well. He could blow our whole plan. Hello, Intergang? Is your driver warming up? Clark Kent just left. You may proceed. Intergang is short for International Gang, and they are a legitimate threat to Superman. Gotcha, Mr. Edge. It'll be a perfect accident. The secret that lies in the wild area overrides all expertise. Expense, yes, and even one man's life. It's ironic that mere youngsters must carry out my plan, but only the young can be accepted where I've sent them. Meanwhile, Clark Kent makes his way through the busy streets of Metropolis. It was a sad day when Morgan Edge bought the Daily Planet. Luckily, I picked up Jimmy's assignment slip at the front desk. He should be at this address. Preoccupied by his thoughts, Clark Kent does not see the car bearing down on him or hear the crowd's warning shouts. Look out, that car! It's too late. The sound of impact is sharp and terrible. Good Lord, the poor guy was hit head on. Stop that hit-and-run car. The victim's moving. He's alive. Impossible. That car struck him like an Atlas missile. No denying that. So that was an attempted murder. It's a miracle. No man could have survived that. No ordinary man. But Superman could. Seems I have a lot more to worry about than Jimmy Olsen. At that moment, a fantastic happening takes place above the slum district. What a bus! If we can't drive her through city traffic, we fly her over it. Magnetic repulsion is the phrase, Scrapper. It's a principle that works. You're designing genius big words. Sorry. Cool, baby. The whiz wagon grabs sky like a crazy eagle. Level her off at 5,000 feet, Olsen. How does she handle manually? I've flown light planes and jets, but the whiz wagon is really something. When I sent the plans to Mr. Edge, I never dreamed he'd actually build my vehicle. What's more, if we complete this assignment, the whiz wagon belongs to the Newsboy Legion. It's as good as yours, with Jimmy Olsen at the helm. There's the river. I'm taking her down. Jimmy Olsen fingers play expertly on the complex control panel. He switches from air to amphibian as the whiz wagon touches water. Now we're in flip-a-dippa territory, man. This eagle takes to water like a porpoise. We're making great time, too. If Mr. Edge's guess is right, the wild area is at the mouth of the river. The computer is right on target. We're almost there. If it's there, the wild area could be a wild rumor. Switch to wheel action. The river stops here. This place looks somewhat undeveloped, but hardly wild. But unobserved by the arrivals, their landing has been carefully scouted. We've got visitors, Iron Mask. Are they picnickers or recruits? I'd say they were dead pigeons. I like that set of wheels you're driving, Voodoo. When my hand drops, plow in on 'em. Your word is law, my commandant. The outsiders take what they want. Go, 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 Voodoo. Death is fast. Death is loud. Death is final. First, we get them out of the car. We'll shake them up with a little dynablast cannon action. Drive 'em back. Drive 'em into the woods. Yow! I think we landed in Vietnam. This area is getting wild now. Take to the air, Jimmy, quick. There's no room to maneuver. We're trapped among the trees. Before they realize what happened, the boys are driven up a smooth slab of stone. Hey, the whiz wagon is stuck. It won't move. This rock is magnetized. I could change polarity on the repulsion unit. So I think that's enough for this first foray into the fourth world, but we have so much more to go.